Hello, this is Doris, and if you're here, it means that you want to learn about turning 30, what you should do after age 29, the spiritual significance of turning 30. And I wrote a blog post about it. If you prefer to read, you can simply go to my website, schoolofrelevance.com, and read the full blog post. But I'm going to talk about it here as well if you prefer to watch and listen. And I want us to look at a couple of things that make us fear turning 30. This is my phone light on my face, so please. We fear being too old for our dreams. We fear turning 30 because of the feeling of inadequacy that you haven't achieved what you want to achieve or what is expected of you by 30. We fear turning 30 because sometimes it comes with feeling like a failure. It comes with loss of time. It comes with a fear that says that it's too late for us. It comes with a fear of starting over. It comes with a fear of being single. Because at 30, we have this expectation that we should have been married, we should have had kids, or we should have had a career that everyone knows of that is very much successful and making seven figures. Or we want to reinvent ourselves and start something new with our lives. But we are not exactly starting something new with our lives because we used our 20s to figure some things out. And now we have decided that we want to take a new route. But yet, why would you start something new at 30 when you should be succeeding at what you've already started? So if you want to go back to school, it's like, I'm already 30, why would I want to go back to school at that age? We fear that it's too late. We fear that we cannot start over. We fear that we've lost a lot of time. We've wasted our 20s. I mean, there could be a part that we play in that maybe truly we did waste our 20s, but that's okay. I mean, in some ways, it's okay because it's already happened. So the most important thing is, what are you going to do about it going forward? Instead of just crying or being sad that you've wasted your 20s. Now that now that you're turning 30 or that you've turned 30, what are you going to do about it? We fear that we are feeling like a failure. If there's some things that you wanted to achieve that you haven't achieved and you're turning 30 and you seem like, oh, I'm 30 and I have nothing to show for it. We have that feeling of inadequacy. By the time you put all of these things together, what do we feel? Inadequate. We fear that we are too old for our dreams, which is why we feel like it's too late, which is why we fear starting over. But then at the root of all of this, we can see that what they are fears. Because if they are not fears, it means that they don't exist and you will do better. You would not even have to worry about any of these things. You could just get up one day and say, you know what, I'm going back to college. You know what, I'm going to start this business. You know what, I'm doing this all over again. You know what, I'm even leaving that relationship, even if it's been years. And you're leaving it at age 30 to start all over again with somebody else one day, hopefully, you know. And I wrote here that fear is a seed of lies planted by the enemy to keep us from believing in ourselves and stepping into our highest, biggest, next level version of ourselves. Because God forbid you know the truth. Oh, the things you could have been, things you could do. But right now, because we know better, we do better. We would say no more. Because for example, I will be turning 30 in exactly 2 days. I can't even believe it. And it's exciting for me because I have come to learn a lot of things in my 20s. It's exciting for me to see what this new decade holds for me. But it's also scary. Scary because I don't know what it holds, and scary because most of what I know about turning 30 has been what others have said about it. It has not been what I know, what has been taught to me, but rather what others have said about it. And especially for women, the things that were said about it for women is such that it makes it seem as though if you're a woman and you turn 30, you are done for, especially if you're not married. Well, I see the point, biological clock and all, but there are so many factors as to why people don't have what they wanted to have. Sometimes it's not because they don't want to, they it's not because that they don't want to have it. It could simply be because whatever life dealt at them is just what happened. You'll be surprised that there are so many women who have never been in any relationship until they were 30. Like their first relationship came at age 30. And and maybe nobody have actually really been seriously asking them out. You never can tell. So, you know, my 20s were quite challenging. I think they were the toughest moments of my life. Very challenging. I lived them and I built, I took risk, I survived. And I did that all alone. And I mean, of course, with God by my side. But I can tell you this, we need to learn to, because what I've noticed is we always tell people, so now you're turning 30. Wow. Are you married? What have you done with your 20s? You know, what did you do with your 20s? But nobody's asking you, how did you survive? Nobody's asking you, how are you doing? Because that's what most of us were doing in all of our 20s, surviving. Literally surviving, living for the moment, for the day. You know, when I say living for the moment, I mean taking a day at a time, just surviving and hoping to get to the next day. That's what so many people in the world are doing. So we should start saying instead when people turn 30, so many times just say well done to them. Just say well done. Welcome to a new season because you so deserve it. But no, we don't say that. And that's not good. But you know, this situation led me to go study, to research about turning 30, to know if it means something, if there is a significance to it. I wanted to know if it means something because, like I said, all I know about 30 is what has been said to us from the media, from society. And I'm glad I went on this journey. I'm glad I did the research. What I found out encouraged me, it blessed me, it energized me, and I wanted to share with you so that maybe it could do the same for you too. So, and you know, I want to also continue reading from my article. Again, you can go to schoolofrelevance.com and read from there. And I found out that most people don't approach their age 30 with a lot of enthusiasm. They don't approach age 30 with that joy, with that excitement, that wow, this is my birthday. You could celebrate every other birthday with so much excitement, but for some reason, 30 is like, woe is me, you know? And when we look at it, I just wondered, if you look around you, you might find that there are lots of people that died when you were in primary school, in elementary school, in high school, wherever you are from and whatever it is called. There are people who are from some people who died at different stages of our lives. When we were kids, when we were teenagers, when we were young adults, when we were 25, when we were 29. I mean, I'm 29 and 11 months and 3 weeks and 5 days. Yeah, so if you see this today, which is the 23rd of May, then 2 days' time, I'll be 30. But if you see this later on, then I was already 30. Yay! I still can't believe it because I think I'm probably still 16 at heart. And it just happened. I don't even know how it happened. And we're already 30. So I'm thinking, right? If the people that lost their lives before 30 were to do it all over again, and we had to ask them, do you think they will be turning 30 and they will be scared, worried, sad? Or they will be turning 30 and they will be so excited? They will be so grateful to be alive. Just think about that for a moment. So, because they've lost their lives and they know as a result, they know the importance of life. They know the beauty of life. They know the gift of life. They know that if you get to stay alive, to celebrate any day, you should be grateful for it. I believe it will change your perspective and it will help you to put on a garment of praise, a garment of gratitude. Because we should look at this not just from the angle of the spiritual significance of 30, which is what this video is really going to be about. That's what I'm going to share. But also look at it with the perspective of mortality. You could be dead right now, and you could drop dead at any minute, any second. You could, but you are alive. So instead of thinking of what you have not done at 30, what you could not do at 30, be grateful that you get the biggest privilege of your life of being alive, because if you have life, everything else can be handled. So let's approach our 30s with gratitude first, and the rest will be handled. So there's a quote I want to share with you. I saw this on the internet. It put this in better perspective. It says, a person who turns 30 is old, but who dies at 30 is young. That's so profound. That's so profound. Society literally decided that 30 is this, 30 is that. You should do this by 30. If you don't do it by 30, that is it. This is not for those who are not trying to plan better or do better. If you are not, then start doing better right now. But I really believe that a lot of people did their very best. They did their very best, and where they are, what they have is the best that they could do. Right? So now, let's talk about the spiritual significance of turning 30. Because in scripture, age 30 is mentioned in quite significant contexts. And part of them is, number one, Jesus' ministry. Jesus was 30 years old when he began his public ministry. The Levites, who were known as priests in the early days, they began their service in the tabernacle at the age of 30. David became king at the age of 30. Saul became king at the age of 30. Joseph became the second in command to Pharaoh at age 30 after being a slave in Egypt. Ezekiel, who was called by God as a prophet, became that prophet and stepped into that calling at age 30. Do you see the pattern? Do you see what happens every time people turn 30 since the dawn of time? Do you see that it's almost as though heaven opens up and seals it for them when they turn 30? If you didn't notice it, let me point it out again. When they turn 30, something happens. They become, they come into their own. They get called. They transcend to a new level. That is, they level up. They get promoted, or they step into leadership. So spiritually, according to the calendar of heaven, turning 30 is when they say to you, when heaven says to you, it's time, and appoint you to your next level. So 30 is not necessarily a time when everything needs to just have worked out for you. It's actually a time when everything begins to work out for you. It's actually a time when you step into a new level. Turning 30 is literally the beginning of your life. You begin to live, you begin to become, and you become to take charge. You begin to own yourself, own your narrative, own your story, own your calling, own your purpose, own your voice, own your presence. Your first 10 years, it's like everything is testing you. Sorry, your first 10 years is when you are molded by your parents, right? As you figure out that you're a human being. And your second 10 years is when you practice being a human being based on what daddy and mommy said. And your next 10 years, everything around you will try and test you. Test what you've been taught at home and what you believe and what you were destined to be. Right? So from 1 to 10, you are molded by your parents and you figure out how to be a human being. From 11 to 20, you practice being a human being based on what daddy and mommy said or whoever it is that raised you. And from 20 to 30, everything around you will try you, test you. Test what you've been taught at home, what you believe, and what you were destined to be. And then from 30, that's when you are done with all of that. You turn 30, you become a fully formed and ready powerhouse. You become a fully formed and ready powerhouse, ready to be deployed for the work you were called to do. That is why from scripture and from a spiritual standpoint, that is when you begin, that is when you become, that is when you are called into whatever it is that has been predestined for you. In summary, the good seeds you've sown all this while, they will germinate this decade. Age 30 is for reigning, it's for coming out of your shell and being seen. It's the age where you announce and amplify yourself, all you do and all you are or want to be. Age 30 is for answering your calling and living out your purpose. Age 30 is for leadership. In Bible, age 30 symbolizes separation, dedication, rather, to a calling and set apart for a specific task. It's a separation, but for a specific task that should be dedicated to. Right? And I believe that God likely chose 30 because it was when a person reached both physical and mental maturity and could therefore handle major responsibilities. For example, John the Baptist, he began his ministry at age 30. And there's a man called Sarah. He was the great-grandfather of Abraham. He had his first son at age 30. Now, what this means is for you, I'm using these examples for us to be able to explain what will happen, what you should expect to happen at age 30. Sometimes I believe that expectation is very powerful. What you expect is what you see, and when you don't have any expectation, that could affect what you see. So I believe that having this expectation will help you to see these things in this decade. So at this age 30, giving you the example of Sarah having his first son at age 30, Jesus beginning his ministry at age 30, John the Baptist beginning his ministry at age 30. From your 30, you will birth new things. You will birth new businesses, new ideas, new organizations, new companies, children, marriage. You will start working in your purpose this season. You will shine this season. You see, there's a prophet called Ezekiel. He began his book at age 30. So, and his book started as a vision. He had a vision. There's a download from heaven that came to him. So, as you step into your age 30, you will receive visions, heavenly downloads. You will write books this season. You will know what to do. It will just come to you. Right? And there was a part where a story about Abraham, when God wanted to do something in Sodom and Gomorrah, he wanted to put an end to that city. he asked Abraham, he told Abraham that he wanted to do that, and Abraham was negotiating with God on if there were 50 people, would he save the city? And God said yes. If there were 40 people, would he save the city? And God said yes. And Abraham negotiated with God till he got to 30 people. Would he save the city if he could only get 30 people? If he could find 30 righteous people? And God said yes. And what I got from that at age 30, there is grace and there is mercy. Right? This is taking 20 minutes already. At age 30, there is grace and there is mercy available to you for a fresh start, for a second chance, for a new beginning. It's almost as though when you turn 30, heaven sees a blank slate for you to rewrite your story. It's not about what you've lost. They are saying you can gain new things now. You see, one of the judges of Israel in the Bible had 30 sons. He was wealthy enough not only to provide for each of them with their own horses to ride, he also gave each of them a city, 30 in total. Another judge of Israel had 30 sons and 30 daughters. What I got from that is that in this season of 30, you'll have an abundance. You'll have an abundance. You'll have all that you need and all that you want. And whatever you get, whatever you're blessed with, you'll have more than enough to take care of it. You will have more than enough to take care of it. If you have a business, you'll have what you need to take care of your business. If you have a family, you'll have what you need to take care of your family. If you have an idea, you'll have the right people to help you run it. Wow. You see, we are in good company, right? So, turning 30 is not the end of the road for us. It's the beginning of a new life for us, a new and better chapter that is sparkling beautiful. I want you to look forward to being 30 if you're not yet 30, and I want you to, for a moment, bask in the beauty of being 30. Be grateful that you're 30. Enjoy it. Write down these things that you're to expect and start looking out for it. So, being 30 is not a whoa, this is me season, or a woe is me season as it is said. It is a yay, this is me. This is my time, right? So we are not done for. Everything is rather done for us. This is our time. We are ready. And it will be better than the past years we've ever lived. From your 30 to the rest of your life will be better than the previous years. But there's something that I need us to pay attention to. There is a certain, I believe, power or anointing that comes with this age. Nothing can really take what is meant for you at this point, but some things can actually take it away. One of them is you. In fact, it's only you and God. But God has said countless times that He desires the very best for you. So only you right now have the power to jeopardize all of the grace, all of the mercy, all of the beauty that's going to come with this year. So it brought me to this. There is a word called Kaiser. Kaiser. Kaiser is translated as Caesar. I think some people call it Caesar, and it was recorded 30 times. It means severed. And it's a title that was first used by Julius Caesar. And after his death, those who ruled the Roman Empire used it as part of their title. The word severed means cut off or sliced off. So imagine calling yourself Julius Caesar, which means Julius cut off or Julius sliced off. And if it is a title, it means that you're saying that your title means cut off or sliced off. So it means you are permanently cut off and sliced off from where you were to a new level. In the level up game, you can't go back to who you used to be. You can't go back to who you used to know or who you used to behave like. You can't even go back to certain people. To maintain this title, it means you are cut off permanently from mediocrity, invisibility, fear, boredom, laziness, procrastination, people pleasing, insecurities, negativity, gossip, and anything less than an upgrade. The problem is that many get to this age and do not want to add the title Caesar, because Caesar means to cut off and to slice off permanently. So which means they will have to cut off and slice off what they were already used to. This means that for a new level, so many times there are so many things that cannot go with you. So you have to cut them off, you have to slice it off, whatever it is. There are character traits you can't take with you in this new season. There are people you cannot take with you in this new season. There are things you cannot take with you in this new season. You have to cut it off, you have to slice it off. Many cannot do this, and as a result, they lose out on the blessings that come with this new decade, and they can turn 30 without even receiving the blessings that comes with 30. And that is the recipe for living a life where you end up with regrets. So choose today who you want to become. And this is my favorite part. There's a Hebrew word called Ribka. It was recorded 30 times in the Old Testament. The word Ribka means fettering by beauty. Fettering by beauty or ensnare. And it was translated as Rebecca, the name of the patriarch's wife, Isaac. It's funny to me because fettering by beauty, fettering means to restrain or confine. That is restrained or confined by beauty. Ensnare means to catch in or to trap. And a snarer is someone who can trap or catch. Meaning that Ribka means someone who is restrained or confined by beauty, or someone who can trap and confine beauty. I don't know if you're following me right here. And it's the name of Isaac's wife. So literally, this woman is bearing a name that means something about her, which is that she is someone that can actually trap beauty. She catches beauty. She confines them. She ensnares people with it. So she gets people to her. She draws people to her just by beauty. I mean, how beautiful is she? I dare say that beauty isn't a privilege. Beauty is an era. There's a level of beauty you're about to attain now as you turn 30. The kind of beauty that skincare, makeup, beauty products cannot give to you. A kind of beauty that heals, that purifies, that inspires, that brings one to tears. And it's not a kind of beauty you get with surgery or Botox or pandering to the beauty standards set by society. It's a beauty that shines forth from the inside out. No one can explain it, not even you. It's a beauty whose time has come. It's a beauty that has come to full maturity. Nothing can stop that. Nothing can change it. You can't compete with the person who is in their season. So this season, you will just shine forth. Your beauty cannot be explained. You are stepping into your season of Ribka, a beauty that ensnares, a beauty that fetters, a beauty that catches and traps. It traps and catches beauty, which means that anything beautiful that comes to you stays. Anything you want, all you have to do is just be, and it comes to you. You can't help it, it just happens. You have stepped into an era of divine beauty. It's a lifestyle of divine beauty. Experts can explain what makes you beautiful. Your name, your voice, your fragrance, your presence, they are just beautiful. It's from your soul, it's from heaven because it's your time. You use your beauty to get what you need and keep it. But this kind of beauty is only released to women of wisdom, walking in their purpose. Because without wisdom that is dripped in purpose, you will abuse this kind of beauty and others will also abuse it. 30 seems to mean full circle, the completion of a circle. And when a circle is complete, there is newness, freshness, there is new beginning. And a new beginning comes with abundance and open doors. In fact, I'll call 30 as the year of the phoenix, year of the rebirth. You will need to reintroduce yourself, which means you will need to reinvent yourself. I believe reinvention is much more potent in your year 30 because of the spiritual backing that comes with your year 30. Year 30 is a new circle, a new beginning, is a fresh start for you. In 30 AD, the New Testament church was born. And thousands of years later, the movement is still going strong. What this means is that what you will give birth to this season, whether it be your children, your marriage, your business, ideas, organization, as you turn 30, it will be transgenerational. This is your legacy building years. So milk this season. Relish in your year 30. Dance in excitement because you just stepped into a gold mine. Splurge if you can. Begin your main character journey because it's about time, right? So, I have been an identity coach, a subset of life coaching for about 5 years now. And my main goal is to be able to help people to figure out what their zone of genius is and uncover their life's purpose, find out what their unique gift and talent is, and step into their destiny. When you step into your destiny, it changes everything for you financially, mentally, emotionally, relationally as well. Being in tune with what your calling is, with what your destiny is, can even help you choose a better spouse, make better decisions. It's where almost everything in life flows from. So if you've not been able to figure out what your destiny is or what your life purpose is, you can do that with me right away. I'll leave the link in the description for the blog. You can read all of this. What you listen to was a blog. You can read it and get more details. And I'm going to leave a link for you to check out my program Destined so that you can read through it. And if you're a fit, we can work together. And in the next couple of weeks, you should be able to know what your life purpose is. Because if you are turning 30 this year, or you're already 30 and you're not living your purpose, or you don't know what it is at all, then you are wrong. You should figure that out and start living it. This is your time, and I'm ready to help you step into your destiny. So, thank you. Bye.